Hello everyone. It's Friday night. Ready for another night of crafting? Are we? I'm just going to, okay, Cheryl, thank you for commenting that you didn't get anything there because I'll fix that up. And I think I did see it come through. So I think you did get on the newsletter list, but I'm not sure why you didn't receive the other thing, because you should get a little freebie as well. So I'll have a look at that. That's actually the second person to tell me that. So I will follow that up. Thank you very much. How is everyone today? This is Friday night. I actually scheduled this quite late today because I actually wasn't 100% sure what I was going to do. My son, this is his weekend to have with his dad. And so he has to be driven up to Beresville, which is about an hour north of here, on a Friday night. And his dad, the only time he could meet him was 7:30. I was like, am I going to have to pre-record? Do I have to cancel? What will I do? And in the end, my husband came to the rescue and said he would drive Ben up for me. So I'm very grateful that he was able to do that. And that meant that I could schedule my live and go live as normal. So I just didn't want to say ahead of time what was going on because I really wasn't sure. So how's everyone else's week been? I've had a busy one. As some of you would know, I'm going away at the end of the month, but I'm still here until the end of the month. So if you need anything in the meantime, if you have questions you need me to answer, please feel free to ask, because I am still around. Still doors are still open at this point. All right. Now let me quickly go through and see if I've missed any other comments that are important. You know what, Monique, you said both Margarets. We actually have 3 regular Margarets here on a Friday night, unless there are others that I don't know about, but I know of 3. So it's nice to see them all here. Hello, everyone. Hi, Katrina, Sean, Robin. Hi, Leslie. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Sally. Look, I'm so sorry if I miss people's names. I'm so sorry, but I don't want to be just saying hello to people all night and then we don't get around to any crafting, right? Yes, thank you. I will tell him that you said thank you. Thanks, Margaret. Okay, hi from New York. Patricia, it's 5:30 a.m. That's an early start. Are you always up this early, or could you not sleep? I frequently am up at 5:30. I go to an exercise class. I try and get there 3 times a week, and it starts at 6, which means I need to get up just after 5:30 if I'm going to go. But this has been such a busy week. I haven't made it very much at all this week, only one time, so I try on the days I don't get to my class, I try and go for a walk, even if it's just a half-hour walk or something like that. That's what I'm trying to do. So just trying to get a little bit more fitness at my age. It's use it or lose it, right? All right. Oh, YouTube is fine, and that's completely fine. In fact, that's where most people are. So not a good sleeper. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Patricia, because sleep is one of those things that we just need. Oh, Cheryl, no sleep in 2 days. Well, maybe I'll put you all to sleep tonight. Maybe we can craft and forget all of our other issues in our heads, and then we'll all be sleepy at the end. Okay. All right, Cheryl, we'll follow that up. Okay, I'll try, and I know I saw something come through from you. So and I remember seeing it and thinking, that's Cheryl that was in our live last night. So I think it was the day after. Hi, Lynn. Nice to see you. How's the Northern Territory? We're all over the place tonight, aren't we? All right. Okay, let's switch over to the desk because I am finally able to show you. Guess what we've done? I forget to turn it around, and you get to see what's behind here. Which is not very attractive, is it? It's all cables and stuff. But that's how that's technology, right? We have our new catalog. It went live this week. Did everyone realize the new catalog went live? It went live on Tuesday, which means you can order out of this now, whether you're a demonstrator or a customer or whoever you might be, you can order from this. Behind the magic. Oh yeah, it's not very magic over there, is it? Hey. I saw you this afternoon, Denise. Did you realize that was me beeping my horn at you? I tried not to do it. I didn't want to scare you, so I tried to do the beeping really softly. But I hope you realized it was me. All right. Okay, let's turn to page 91, which is what I want to play with tonight. This is a set called, and we did make a card with this the other day. Some of you who were here with me last weekend will remember one of our sessions we did with the Crafting With You set. These days, Stampin' Up! Has been very kind to us and started naming the die sets and the stamp sets, the matching sets. They're both the same name. So much easier. I'm so, so glad, because before it was sometimes a little bit of an effort to remember both names and I'd get them wrong. That's okay. I think I surprised you, Denise, so that's fine. Oh, is it warm up there? It's not down here. It's supposed to be a cold weekend. So how warm is it, Lynn? What sort of weather do you have up in Darwin? You're in Darwin, right? So I'm wondering how warm it is up that way. Anyway, hey Cheryl, nice to see you. This beautiful set is called Crafting With You, and in case you haven't noticed it in the catalogue, it is on page 91. There is a stamp set and a matching die set, and the dies and the stamps complement each other beautifully. So some of them are matching. And something for anyone who doesn't know this, it's a little hard to see with this one, but you might be able to see that some of the images in this, like the easel, for example, and the sewing machine and these little flowers, have kind of like a almost a 3D look, like a shadow all the way around them. Can you see what I mean? Like there's a little shadow, and that's telling you that there is a matching die for that stamp. So there's a matching die for the easel, for the sewing machine, for the little flower, for this group of flowers, for the balls of yarn, for the cut and emboss machine. How cute is that? Love it, love it, love it. For the paintbrushes and for the basket. Now those ones all have matching dies. Now there are only 13 stamps in the set, okay, but there are actually, how many are there in here? Does it tell me? It doesn't tell me there. I'll have to look at the actual packaging, and that's fine. I can do that. So the actual set has 21. So what that means is, although we have stamps and dies that match each other, there is more dies in here than what actually match. Okay, there's extra ones which kind of are designed to complement the stamp set. You just put the fire on. Oh my goodness. We don't have, well, we do have a fireplace, but we don't use it very often because it only keeps that room warm, and it's a large house, a 4-bedroom place, and the rest of the house is really cold, so we don't put our fire on very often. But we have reverse cycle air conditioning that once again only looks after a small part of the house, so everyone tends to congregate out there. Oh, that sounds beautiful. 29.2. How nice. And it feels like 32.9. Is it humid? So it goes down overnight. That's so nice. Really nice. Oh, thanks, Leslie, for the thumbs up. That's lovely. All right, so there are some dies in here that don't match the stamps, is my point, but they do complement. For example, there's this embroidery hoop, as someone told me. I didn't even realize what it was initially, but there's the embroidery hoop. So these ones that are like a frame, those ones match dies. So that one there matches the cut and emboss machine, which is super, super cute. All right. But the scissors don't have a stamp. The cutter, the trimmer, is actually kind of like our trimmer. It's so, so cute. Oh, let me grab the card. I think it's here. Oh, this is the card we made last time with this set when I used it. Okay. And I really, really, really loved how the scissors turned out. Don't they look like paper snips? Look, I think they look great. So I cut them twice. I cut them once in the black, and then I cut them once in the silver, and then I cut the blades off and stuck them onto the black, so they looked, and it turned out really cute. Isn't it a cute bundle? I know. Exactly. I have friends that sew as well, and in fact, one of the cards I'm making tonight, I want to give it to a friend who likes to sew. So there you go. 11 degrees in Hobart. No thanks. I love Hobart. It's beautiful. And you know what? They're a lot more geared up for the weather down there than we are here. It gets cold here and we don't know what to do with ourselves. It gets cold in Hobart, and you know exactly what to do because you're set up for that, right? So I think they know. I know what they're doing. And Patricia, is it cold over there? Even though it's nearly, exactly, it's heading towards summer for you guys, right? Oh, that sounds nice. That's lovely, Shirley. All right, so we've got some individual dies that don't match the stamps. And tonight what I thought I would do, because I've got a couple of ideas for things I'd like to do tonight, and I'm going to we're going to be playing with some dies, with some embossing folders. Just quickly, if you love this set, you can buy the set, either the dies or the stamps by themselves. But if you love both, it is available as a bundle, which means you can save 10% by buying both together. Okay, and I think that's a really great way to go. It's a really nice one. If you wanted the bundle, there is a code to get that. It's 161226. If you want to add that onto your next order. Once again, that's 161226. And the cost, instead of $105, if you added both together, it's $94.50. Okay, so it saves you a little bit of money by buying a bundle together. So I really like what they've done here. Like, you know, you've got this little basket, you can put the wool in it. And you've got your scissors there, and you've got some little spools. So one of the, I forget who it was that had to help me out, but somebody, might have been Leslie, but I don't know if I'm right there. Somebody told me when I asked, because I wasn't sure what these little guys were for, this little tiny one. Let me grab it. And now I know what it is. Okay, can you see those? Okay, these are the yarn or the cotton to put on your spools. And I love that because that means you can have the spools one color. Let me see if I can get them off. They've never been taken off before. So, okay. And then you can have your spool, your cotton, a different color. So they're so, so cute. Look how cute they are. Love them. It's a lot of fine detail. But if you don't like fine detail in a set, if you don't like it, all the fussiness of it, this might not be for you. This one, that's okay. It sounds like a warmer place to go, Cheryl. But I think this is a really, really great idea. Oh, that's a nice idea. So you cut small, Leslie's saying she cut small squares of DSP and made a quilt for the front of the card and then put the sewing machine and the spools of thread on. How cool is that? Actually, there is another set. I want to show it to you that I thought would work really well with this, and it's a die set. It's right up the back here. It's called Patchwork Pieces. Have you seen this one? So you've got your triangular patchwork pieces with the stitched edges. And then you've also got like a wavy, it's almost like a wavy sunburst. But those two I thought would go really, really nicely with this set, with the sewing machine and the spools and the cotton. So that's just a little thought. So sometimes you can think of sets that would work really well together. It is a great idea for a card. Fabulous. And you're waiting for it to come, Cindy. I think you'll really love it when it does. It's beautiful. All right. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to, I've got a couple of ideas tonight. And the problem is I'm trying not to mix up the ideas because I have too many ideas of what I want to do with this set. And I'm trying not to put them all on one card. I want to do them separate. So sometimes, and I'm probably not going to do this tonight just because it won't look as effective, okay, but let me put this on. But what I like to do is I like to put the same color of a die onto the same color, and I'm going to actually change this tonight, but I just want to show you what it would look like. All right. And the reason why is because if you do this and you glue it down and then you run it through an embossing folder like with an all-over pattern, like maybe the hatched, the hatched look one that's in the basics dies. So these are a set that's available. They're not in our catalog, but they're available online at the moment in the online store. This one is like a cross hatch kind of a pattern. That's the one I mean. And you could run that through and then emboss them all, so that they all, you glue them down very lightly and then emboss it so it goes through, and it looks really, really good. And it looks like or you can just even leave them like that, and it looks like an embossing folder with little scissors all over it, but it's actually just the dies stuck on. So I do that sometimes, but tonight I think we'll get a little bit more of a dramatic effect if we choose another color. And I thought I might pick Moody Mauve. What do you think? Do we like Moody Mauve and Crumb Cake together? What do we think about that? All right, so I'm going to put a few of these in place. So it might be a little fiddly, but that's okay. We're still early. The night is young. Hi, Joan. Nice to see you. Thanks for your message before. I will chase that up for you early in the week. And so I'm just going to arrange these. Now, I don't need to worry about the middle because I'm going to be putting something else in the middle. Really easy to tell which one is which because this one with the hole in it also has a larger handle. And then this one has a smaller handle with no holes. So you know that one of each is going to is going to go with that. And I'm going to kind of arrange these. And I, don't think this is the final arrangement because I'm going to sort of move them around a bit. And I cut quite a few. I think I cut about 7 pairs. Is that right? Or 6 or something. Maybe 6. And what I'm doing here is I'm arranging them around about the place. Actually, which way does this one go? Did I have the right one? Oh yeah, I think I did. And then maybe that one here. And if it goes a little bit over the edge, that's okay because then I'll just trim that bit off. All right. I'm thinking that might look kind of good. That's kind of cute. Oh, you emboss the quilt. Yes, I would. Which one did you use? Because I'm going to do something tonight for kind of an embossed look, like a quilted look with this one, which is from that same. So these are the 3 dies I mentioned. There's this one that's a crosshatch design. This one that is like raised dots. And then this one that's like little flowers, daisies. Although I've heard some people say they look like starfish. So could be either, really. The bottom right pair doesn't look right. No, they don't, do they? I think I've got them around the wrong way. They're meant to go like that. If they don't look right, that's why. It means I've just got them around the wrong way. All right, so what I'm going to do, change the bottom right corner scissors. It looks funny. I've just done that. You guys are too quick for me. All right, so I'm going to put this one on first. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just put enough Tombow. Now, if I was really smart, when I cut these out, I would have used adhesive sheets because adhesive sheets are the best thing ever. They will actually put a nice sticky, you can peel the backs off and then stick them really, really easily, whereas Tombow's a bit messier, but that's okay. All right. So it's going to take a little bit of time. What should we talk about while I do this? I probably should have picked something faster. I did cut them out in advance thinking that that would be a good idea, but that's okay. Has anyone got any questions for me? Anything at all? Oh, I got something today. I haven't opened it yet, but I did get something. I'm not going to open it here because I don't want to spoil it for other demonstrators who might not have received theirs yet. And so this is something that I'm getting because of the Norway trip. And some of you might know when we go on these trips, Stampin' Up used to do what they call pillow gifts. And I don't know if it's because of COVID or what's happening, but this year they're not doing that. And they've explained it by saying, we won't have to carry, because sometimes the pillow gifts are really, really heavy. And, oh, hi, Jenny. Nice to see you and very nice to meet you. Yes, you call it the Daisy folder. That's it. Oh, it's very nice to meet you, Jenny. I'm glad you could make it. Whereabouts are you from, Jenny? Tell us about yourself. We're nosy here. We like to know where everybody's from and where we're all at. Go put that one this way. So has anyone seen anybody else? Because I know other people, I saw a couple of other demonstrators post their boxes. Like they didn't post what was in them, just the outside of the box. So I'm going to show you the outside of the box because it's really pretty. It's very exciting. There we go. This is coming together. All right, let me just grab it really quickly. It's big. I can't show you what's inside though, not yet. But I will once everybody's got their boxes. See, it's got a really pretty, this is the Norway logo this year. I don't know if you can see. It's got Norway on the side and Stampin' Up. It's a bit hard to show you. But it's very exciting. It's about 6 kilos. So it's and I know a couple of things that are in it. We've been told in advance what's in it, like 2 of the things, but only 2. So I know there's going to be a raincoat in it because we're apparently going to need that on the cruise. And I know that there's going to be a Norwegian style sweater. That's apparently in there as well, but I don't know what color it is, and I don't know if everyone's got the same colors. It's all very exciting. The one with the one little die paper trimmer. This one here this here is the paper trimmer, that here, and you can see I used it here. See, and then after someone explained to me that there was a little tiny blade in there, the blade is actually attached to the paper trimmer. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see that? It's right there at the top, and so, or in this case the bottom, because I've got it turned around the other way. Actually, have I put this on wrong? I have put that on wrong, so let me go that way. So the trimmer is super cute, and it actually cuts a slit here that you can slide some paper in, and so you can see I slid my paper in because this actually lifts up. It's so cute. I love it. All right, we're nearly there with our scissors on the last pair. It's riveting video, isn't it? Just riveting. Sorry about that. And the last one. All right. Anyone got their eye on this snap set? I know a couple of, hey, Brenton, nice to see you. It is so cute. You are correct. All right, so I've got a little bit of glue here and there, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, oh, I've got a hair. It's not mine either. Guess whose it is? We all know whose it is. Actually, it could be either of them, to be honest, because Mello's been getting up here a lot lately. I don't know whether it's the colder weather or what it is, but he's been coming up for smooches, he's the black and white cat. All right. So now we have a bunch of little scissors on our background. And I'm going to keep this one probably fairly simple today. I'm thinking that we'll go with this. And I'm thinking, what shall we put? We've got a couple of choices here. I like the idea of having some cotton and some spools. I think maybe we should make those. Should we use probably crumb cake or a darker brown? What do you think? Should we go? I can go with crumb cake for the spools, and then we could put on a darker color for the cotton. Or I can go, let me see, I'm just looking at my colors on offer. Like Pebble Path, the Pebble Path is this color, this kind of grey brown, which I quite like. I know, isn't it a fun set, Deborah? It's fantastic. I know, I had to, this was on my very first order. I got this one straight away. Ah, there you go. So I convinced you, did I, Monique? I'm sorry about that. That's kind of my job, but I'm sorry if I'm the cause of that. All right, I'm deciding what. We've got scissors. We could put some yarn in a bowl. That would be nice. Maybe some yarn in a bowl. Shall we do that? I think that would be good. And for the bowl, I think I'll use crumb cake because it's kind of a baskety colour. Is baskety a word? It is now. All right, so here's that little bowl. And I'm going to put some crumb cake through. I'm not even going to bother to bring it over. I'm just going to do it off camera, only because then I haven't got to bring it in and take it away and all the things, all right? Or maybe I'll bring it in a second anyway. See, here's my little basket. I like the basket, and I feel like it would be enhanced by rubbing maybe a little bit of ink over the top to highlight, because can you see the nice, it's like it's embossed. It's really, really cute. So I'm thinking a little bit of ink. on that. And probably you could use a sponge dauber, you could use a blending brush. So I'm going to go with a sponge dauber. I'm going to find a brown one because I've got a million sponge daubers. This one looks good. And I'm going to dab it in my crumb cake ink and just swirl around here. Might not be dark enough. I might need a dark colour. Soft suede used to be the go-to, but we don't have soft suede anymore. But we do have another new colour called Pecan Pie. Let me try that. Let me find it. I don't even know if Pecan Pie is in the neutrals. So it's kind of like soft suede, but softer. If that doesn't sound right, does it? But I think it is. I think it's a softer colour. I love getting out my inks and trying new colours. It's quite a wet ink pad, so I'm just going to very lightly go over this. Yeah, I think that's better. And now you sort of get a little bit more, you can see a bit more of the embossed image in there. You see that? So that looks rather good. Happy with that. And then what else? Okay, so this is going to end up on here. I'm thinking what color will we do we could do our Moody Mauve for the yarns of wool, but I'm thinking maybe going with a stronger color, maybe Blackberry Bliss, because it's kind of a darker purpley color. So let's try that. And I'm going to grab them, close Pecan Pie, put that away. I'm going to grab my yarn. A bowl of yarn sounds like a good idea. Anybody else unable to resist when they put yarn on special at Spotlight? Because that's something my daughter and I, as soon as she actually will send me send me a message. Oh, Spotlight's having a sale. And I have to go down there and buy all the yarn. Oh, that's very dark. I'm going to make it a little lighter. That's better, I think. I think this one's better. Can you see the difference? Well, it's quite a bit of difference there. So yeah, I like this one better. All right. So here we have the die for that. And that's going to go through my cut and emboss machine. Just like that. Looks good though. Love these. These are super fun. Right, I'm going to cut this down a little bit because I don't really want to bring my embossing. I want to just use my mini for this because it's easier for me to move around my. Let me just put lids on things and all the stuff. All right, now the other thing I wanted to do, and I think I will still use the Pebble Path piece, is I want to cut the spools, and I think I'm only going to do 2 spools and 2 lots of cotton, and then we get to choose what color cotton we want to have. Oh, hang on, let's get these ones. They're easier to get at. Oh, hey, Ellen. You're here. Hi. Your nails are blackberry. For the trip, I'm hoping I can get my nails done if I have time. And if I do, I want them to be Moody Mauve. That's the color I want to put on my nails because I think it's a really nice color for nails. Nice color for crafting too, but a really nice color for nails. All right, let me grab my machine. Now, did anybody see that the mini cut and emboss machine in boho blue, this one, is currently on the list to be sold to customers. So you can get it. It's not in the catalogue, but it is in the online store. And here's a sneaky thing that you might not know. It is cheaper than the white one. Okay, so if you're buying the price now of the full size cut and emboss machine, I believe it's $223. I probably should be looking this up, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. The white mini is $110. And the blue mini is 105. Okay, let me just double check myself because I don't want to give you the wrong information, but I'm pretty sure that's right. The blue mini is not in here, but oh, I might have given you the wrong info. Okay, 223. That's right for the big one. Okay, the mini white one is 115. Did I say 110? I think I did. And this one is $5 cheaper. So this one is 110. That's better. That's what I should have said. Right. Let me get that right. This one is 110. The white is 115, and the big machine is 223. All right. So let's put this through. I'm going to cut these out because they're cute. I love them. Now there is a little thread here, so you want to make sure you're getting that cut. So it just needs to fit, so you can just see the edge of that thread. And then we put this bit on top. And we put the whole thing through. Oh, did it move? Oh, well, maybe slightly. I really should use something to hold it down like a post-it note. It moved ever so slightly, but it's okay. I still got my bits on there. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put my wool with my knitting needle sticking out inside the basket. So if anyone's wondering, no, I don't knit. I crochet, or crochet, depending on how you say it. And I rather like, that's why I go and buy so much copious amounts of yarn, because I'm working on a cardigan at the moment, but unfortunately I'm not going to have it done in time for our trip. All right, so that's ready to go. Isn't that cute? How cute is that? Super cute. All right, and that's going to end up on this side of my, so this is going to go in the center. Now I also want to have my little spools. Bring this back in. And did anyone notice where I put them? Because I did have those out just a moment ago, and now they're gone. So this is the bit where I go all Susan on you and tell you to take a drink. But, oh gosh, I put them down. They'll be right here. I'm not too worried because I know they're on the table. But, yep, I took them out. So thankfully, there are 2 of each. So we just get them off the others. Did anyone see where I put them? The dark colours get lost in the dark colours. Yeah, I agree. But thankfully, we're putting this on a white background, so it's going to show up. So I've still got this die. I'll put that one back in. And then I'm going to grab myself some Pebble Path paper. So here's my little guys. And then I get to choose. I think I will have a lighter color because we're going to have a dark colored spool. So I'm going to have a lighter color for my cotton. So, just grabbing some in color paper. So here we go. This is Pebble Path. It's such a nice color. And someone said to me the other day that it looks the same as Basic Grey. It absolutely does not. It's nowhere close to Basic Grey. It's a color we certainly don't have. The closest I think it is probably is to Grey Granite, but it's darker than that. So did you want to do a quick color comparison? Let's do that. This is the Basic Grey for anyone who's wondering. And here's the Smoky Slate. So you can see that's Basic Grey and this is Smoky Slate. 3 completely different colors. Really, really different. But I really like it. I like that it's got a little bit of grayness to it, but it is a brown, but it's, yeah, a grey brown. All right, so let's go to our spool. spools, not cotton. And then we still got to decide what color we want the cotton to be. Oh, okay. Oh, they're so cute. So cute. Look at these. So I've got one here that's just popped out by itself. That one there. Put it down. And then the other one wanted to cling to the paper a little bit. So I'm just going to, I've got a fuzzy edge on that one, which I'm just going to take off with my scissors. Okay. So then I have two of those. And I think I'll have one standing up and one lying down. That's what I think. Like this. Kind of. That's where I'm going with it. All right, so I've got to decide, but I think I like color on the spools. Did anyone have a suggestion for the color? Boho blue. Okay, let's do that. I have some of that right here, so that's going to work. Let's do a bit of boho blue. Just move my trimmer out of the way. And grab my top plate. And there they are. Can you see the detail on those? Oh, maybe you can, maybe you can't. It's a bit blurry. Oh, there it goes. Lots of detail. Okay. I know where I put them now, so all good. Okay, so then this one, I'm just going to put a dot of glue behind it. So I know that not everybody likes to, you know, play with little bits like this, maybe. So what do people think? Is this something they like to do? Because it's kind of fun to me. It's really fun playing with these little tiny bits, and it's like doing a puzzle, kind of. And I like that. So I'm going to put this one right here. And then this one goes on top of that. Right. And this one goes on top of that. All right, and then I think this is going to go in the middle here. So I'm going to put some dimensionals behind. I realized I was very, very disturbed to realize that I had forgotten to order myself some more linen thread. I don't like running out of linen thread. I haven't yet, but I'm close. I'm thinking, I can't allow that to happen. Ah, I haven't done my stamping, my greeting. I shouldn't have put my dimensionals on first. Oh, well. It's fine. We'll make it work. Right, so it needs a greeting. And we've got some really nice ones in this set. It's actually very good for greeting. You've got You Inspire Me, which I think is really nice. Life is Better When You're Crafting. Sending You a Handmade Hug. And With Love. All really usable, useful ones. I could do lots and lots and lots with those. I know, Patricia, it's a bit like that. I still love the scissors with the black and the silver so much. I think I would have bought the set just for the scissors, but the trimmer was like what sent me over the edge, really. And the cut and emboss machine. I mean, you need all that, right? So I'm thinking I'm going to go with Life is Better When You're Crafting because it's going to fit really, really well in this spot. So, and most of us know so many people. If we're crafters, we know other crafters. And so it's really nice to make cards that, you know, you could give to another crafter and they would understand. This is a card that you would just get if somebody sent it to you, right? All right. So I was deciding whether or not I would like linen thread on here, and I think I might. Life is better when you're crafting. Ta-da. And I'm going to have, I think, just a little linen thread bow down the bottom here because I think ribbon would be overpowering. We don't want ribbon. So in this case, we used our scissors as background, really. And I kind of like how that worked. We're not even using any DSP, nothing. It's kind of cute. All right. So I'm just going to pull my loops a little smaller. All right. And I need a glue dot for that. It's a brand new pack, so they're almost to the very end of the roll. Okay. And it could either go, look, I feel like I need to zip around the edge with probably a sponge or Dorba and some of the Moody Mauve, which I still got open right here. So I'm thinking that might be good. Let me grab a Dorba. It's really good when you've got everything close at hand that you can quickly grab something that you might need that you hadn't thought about before you started. The other thing you could do, if you don't have a Dorba or a sponge, you can just dip the edges. But you've got to be careful when it's a new ink pad, like I found out last weekend. It was a new ink pad. This Dorba is actually on its last legs. I need to throw it in the bin. So I'm going to find another one. I need to go through my Dorbas because some of them have been around for a really long time and they're starting to, the foam is starting to disintegrate. I just put a finger and put a big smudge in the middle of my card. Why did I do that? Oh well, looks like we're going to be putting something else on our card because I've put a big fat finger in the middle of it. So all right, can you see what I did? I stuck a big fat finger right there in the middle. I'm sure there's something else we can put there. What can we put there? What could I do? Ah, silly. Silly me. Oh well. It's too big to put a piece of bling. Put a little piece here as well. I could put bling elsewhere, but I think that's not the right place. I might have to have a think. You can't see anything. Let me show you. Look, see the big fat finger mark I just put in the middle of my card? Whoops. Oh, well. Or were you just trying to be nice? Is that what it was? You think I should add another spool? Yeah, maybe I could. Maybe I could. It's going to be tight because there's not a lot of space in here, but I could add another spool. All right, I'm not going to do it now though. I'm going to put this card aside and I'm going to come back to it and I'll show it later. So people are saying another cotton reel. Yeah. I did think about putting a ball of wool here. Yep. What else do we have? I mean, there's also a little heart. Can you see the little heart? We could put a little heart there. I wonder if that would cover it. It might nearly. Oh, well, doesn't matter. I've also got, look, we've also got little hearts, little die cut hearts and little stars. Those are there as well. So those would also be nice. And there's buttons. Look, there's buttons. We could put buttons on. What do you think about that idea? I think you're right. I think another spool would look okay. A rogue thread. Yep, we can maybe do that, but it's a pretty big mark, so I am going to have to get a little bit creative. The buttons, yeah, there is buttons. I know. See, there's square buttons and circle buttons, and then there's hearts and stars over here. Isn't this the cutest set? There's a ruler, but the ruler wouldn't work, but it's a cool idea. But anyway, that's my card idea. I'm going to set it aside and not look at it anymore because I might get sad about that finger mark. And I'm going to work out whether I might go the spool track and I might go the button track. Yeah, that would work too, Jenny. So there's a few different ideas. Yep, one of those two. Louise, you are correct. One of the two. All right, so I've got another idea. I don't know exactly how this is going to translate into a card, but we're going to work it out. And we're going to see. And I'm going to start with some white paper. And I did cut a little bit before. I've told you I have my embossing folders ready to go. And I did cut from these dies. And I cut several colors because I wasn't sure what color. I cut a black embroidery. So the embroidery hoop, when you cut out the embroidery hoop, it's one die, but it cuts out the center as well as the outside, which means you end up with a label. So, and it's got nice stitched edges. Can you see that? So you end up with a label, but you also end up with an embroidery hoop. So you end up with both. Like it cuts them together. So that's kind of cute. So I'm actually thinking I may end up with a black embroidery hoop, even though I know that's not normally the color they are, but that's okay. That's we're getting creative, so we can have it whatever color we like. And then I'm actually going to stamp the little flowers in the middle of this, and that's going to be my embroidery that I'm working on. Okay, so let me grab the little flowers out. They should fit nicely on block B or C. Do I have a C block? I have a B block. This will do. That's block B. Now, I'm deciding, do I want to have them all one color? And I'm thinking I might be going to go with the blues for the flowers, but I'd like green leaves. So let's see how we go with this. I'm going to ink it up. And I can see that okay, some of you may have been around last weekend when I was talking about massaging your ink pad with a spoon, and this one needs that as well. I could choose another ink pad or I could massage this one. And if you haven't seen this before, this is when you buy a new ink pad and the ink is sitting on top of, like it's super juicy because it's only just been inked. It hasn't been used before, but the ink is all sitting on the top of the pad. And what you want to do is take a spoon and massage the ink so that it redistributes back down into the pad. And then it stamps much better. Okay, so sometimes if you start to open a new ink pad and you have a look and you think, oh, that looks really juicy, don't stamp it on your project. Stamp it onto a piece of paper first. To make sure it's stamping okay, which is why I just did that. I mean, it's okay, but not fabulous because it's, you know, it has a bit of like, it looks a bit dotty. Let me show you what I mean. This is going to be better now than it was before. Much better. Can you see that's better? Still a tiny bit dotty, but not nearly as bad. This one was almost blobby. So you can see this one's a lot clearer than this one when you put the two together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp in the middle of this white circle. Oh, I did say I was going to do the leaves a different color. I'm going to do the leaves in Mossy Meadow because that's one of my favorite colors to work with. And I'm going to grab myself a blender pen. Let me see if I can find a blender pen that doesn't have another color. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the color off the leaves because I want the leaves to be green, not blue. I'm just going to, you could use, you could use something else to take those off, but I find the blender pen's really good for that, for taking the color off. And then I'm going to grab my Mossy Meadow Stampin' Up marker. This is not the blends. The blends won't work for this. You want to do this with your Stampin' Up markers because that's the same ink as what's in an ink pad, whereas your blends is alcohol ink, and that will just color your stamps and then immediately dry. So I'm just going to put my leaves. Now you will notice when you do this, marking, some people call this markering, other people call it direct to rubber, and the name direct to rubber really is because this works better with rubber stamps. Okay, it doesn't work as well with your photopolymer, but it's okay. All right, I'm going to put, just to make sure I get the best image I can, I'm going to put a mat underneath, a piercing mat. And then I'm going to center that in the middle there, and I'm going to stamp it. And we've got our little blue flowers with our green leaves. Okay, just looks better than an all blue stamp, I think. If you wanted to get a bit more creative, we could have put some Night of Navy with our marker in the center of the flowers and made the flowers two different colors, but I'm not going to worry about that tonight. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this through my embossing folder. This one here is one of the 3 basics embossing folders, and it has that daisy or starfish design. And I think it looks a lot like quilting. Can you see what I mean? Looking like quilting. So I'm going, you can get hoops in almost every color. See, they've always been like bamboo hoops, the ones I had, but hey, that was the good old days, right? All right. The little sound in the background. Ah, Patricia, you haven't been here before. That's Cookie. Cookie is my cockatiel, and he lives in my craft room. And sometimes when I'm talking, because he likes to hear my voice, he will make a bit of noise. There he goes. And sometimes, if you're really lucky, he'll sing us a song. But that's the sound you're hearing. All right, so I'm going to bring my cut and emboss machine in and move all my bits and pieces out of the way. And Cookie knows when I'm talking to him. He knows exactly. So, all right, because this is a 3D embossing folder, we're going to need a little bit of equipment, not much. We just need our main platform, which is number 1. Okay, that's the only platform you need. You do not need your clear plates at all. Okay, we don't need the thin die adapter. Plate 2, we get rid of that as well. And what we do is we grab this plate, which is plate number 4. This is the embossing plate that comes with your Big Shot, or sorry, these days, your cut and emboss machine. And I'm going to put this down so my I put this straight onto the base platform without the clear plates, and this thicker cutting plate, sorry, not a cutting surface, this is the embossing plate, it goes on top, and the whole lot goes through, just those couple of things, and that's all you need. It feels like it goes through like butter. It's really, really easy to work with. All right, so now when I open this up, it's going to have like a quilted look to it. Can you see what I mean? I think that looks really lovely. It looks like machine quilting. And I thought that would be really nice in my little embroidery hoop. Right? So this is how it's going to end up. It's going to be in our embroidery hoop like this. Isn't that cute? And I might even, I don't know, I could put little diamantes in the middle, but then that's not very much like an embroidered thing, is it? Never mind. All right. So let me grab a piece of basic white for my card base. Oh, that's not basic. That's basic white. I want basic white thick, not just basic white. So basic white thick is what I want for my card base. Lots of people to say hello to you, Patricia. So people, what I do love about doing these lives is I love that we have people from everywhere. And, you know, from New York, from the Netherlands. Monica's in the Netherlands. And then we have people all over Australia as well. So it's just lovely to have people checking in from all over the world. Makes me feel good, and I hope it makes everybody else feel good. You're in a international community right here. All right, so I'm going to make this and I'm going to use bone folder. Now this is going to end up on my card, but I haven't really given a lot of thought to the rest of my card design, to be honest. Now I thought about doing like a tag in the center and having my embroidered piece and maybe a sewing machine and maybe some spools again or something like that. But I'm thinking I really do actually want to keep this one pretty simple, given that we've got that beautiful effect on there. And I might even bring in some matching DSP, which might be rather nice. So this is beautiful. This is the in color DSP. Oops, an extra piece. A piece that's not meant to be there. All right. So it's dotty on one side, stripes on the other. Looks lovely, and it's in all of our new colors. Then we've also got some hearts and some little I don't know, what are they? Little dashes, I guess, which looks really lovely. Oh, nice to meet you. I don't know what your name is because I can't pronounce that. I'm so sorry. So yeah, these are really lovely, and I was thinking we could go with the boho blue because that's going to match and keep it nice and simple. So which one shall we do? We do little dashes, or we do dots, or we do stripes? I'm rather liking the stripes. The stripes could be the go. I've just ordered more of this paper because I really like it. Oh, Carol's in Texas. There you go. All right, so I'm thinking a strip of this paper might be rather nice. And let's cut it. Yeah, lots of new people tonight. That's lovely. And I'm thinking maybe around about 6 centimeters, or actually 6.5, which is close to 2.5 inches for you US or Imperial girls or Canadian. So this is the bit where, and I'm going to make it, it's about 5 1/8, which is 13 centimeters long. I may cut that down, but I'd rather start with it too big. I can always cut it down. You can't go the other way. Hubby just arrived home. Right, so we have this in the middle, and then this is going to go down here somewhere. And I'm thinking maybe, we're going to stick with the sewing theme. I might put a piece of boho blue cardstock around this, actually. That might be nice. But we stick with the sewing machine maybe, and maybe a couple of spools. I don't know. What do we think? All right, I am thinking I want to cut this down, and I'm going to use the boho blue. So this is 6.5. Right, so what I said, 6.5. So I'm going to make this half a centimeter longer, or if you're in the US, you'd make it 1/4 inch longer. And I'm thinking that might be a little long, so I'm going to cut this down. I'm going to make this 12. Right, that's better, and that means this will be 1/2 centimeter longer, so that's going to be 12.5. So basically I work in usually a cross between centimeters and inches depending on what I'm making. Now, do we want to go vertical this time? Sorry, portrait, and have them this way and our bits and pieces, or do we want to go landscape? What do you think? Are we going with another landscape card? We did landscape last time and it worked, but what do you want to do this time? Does anyone have... Oh, that's good, Monique. Thank you very much. That makes me feel good to know that you find it clear and easy to understand. That's great. I know. Thank you. I agree. Did everyone see Monique's comment? She loves everybody who's here because you're a great group. Isn't that cool? I think you are too. Makes my heart happy. That's really nice. All right. So the question is landscape or vertical? Margaret was first and she has said portrait. So portrait it is. All right. I'm going to put this piece here. You can use Tom. Oh, and we're going stripes, or are we going... Oh, sorry. I just have to let my husband in because he's locked out. Oops. Sorry. Okay. All right. So we can choose from the stripes, or we can choose from the dots. And they're saying welcome, and someone else said to thank you very much for letting me do a live tonight and picking up Ben. He's waving at you. Good. All right. So the first one we're going with portrait, and because that was Margaret's was the first in with that response, and silver ribbon, says Shirley. Oh, I might be able to find some silver ribbon. Let me see. And dots was the first response. So Betty's the one. So we're going to do dots because that was the first response I saw on that question. Let me just move my trimmer. Now I don't have silver ribbon. I have silver twine, and I have boho blue textured ribbon, but the boho blue textured ribbon might almost be too much boho blue on this card because we've got some white there. Oh, I managed to get a little bit of glue over here. When that happens, I let it dry and then I use my adhesive remover. Okay, now adhesive remover is something that we used to sell years ago and I've not been able to get rid of them. They're these things. Mine is looking very, very grubby, but every now and then I trim it off. And then once this is dry, it's much easier to remove, but I can still do it even now. And it takes off any leftover glue. Okay, that's a very, very handy thing. And if you're wondering where you can get them, I think they might have them at some of the craft stores. I'm sure somebody would know. But yeah, we don't have those anymore. It used to be our cheapest thing in the catalogue, and it no longer is available. Sometimes people used to add it onto their order just to get it over a certain amount or something like that. All right, so I'm looking at this kind of like that. And I'm thinking maybe a sewing machine. Oh, I see. Right. I see what you mean. No, it's just blue and white, but you might be thinking of some of the edges are rough. Can you see that? It's really nice. It's really nice paper, actually. It's all the colors, all of our colors, the in colors this year, last year, and all the brights, regals, subtles, and neutrals actually come in this same design. So they're 6x6 papers, and you can buy any of the colors in these designs. So it's very, very handy if you're always wanting to have paper that's going to match what you're using on your cards. So very nice. I'll craft online, says Joan. There you go. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put this on dimensionals. So let me grab them. Whoops, this one's nearly empty. I've got enough though, just enough. And then of course, I've got the edges. Does everyone use the edges of their dimensionals? Because once you've finished all the dimensionals, you also can trim these bits. So you grab your scissors, for anyone who doesn't know this, and just trim around the outside, and then you've got more little mini dimensionals there. Look, see? So that's a handy thing to do. If anyone hasn't ever done that, do it. it's great. Saves you having to rush out and buy another pack of dimensionals. It's like having spare ones up your sleeve. Okay, here we go. Right. And then this one here, I'm actually thinking this might be best. Actually, I'm not going to put it on yet. I'm going to actually do my sewing machine next. So the sewing machine is a stamp, and then we can cut it out with our dies. What should we do? What color sewing machine shall we do? That's an interesting one. We could do a grey sewing machine, like a silvery, like a smoky slate. That might be a good size, a good color, maybe. I don't know. The blue, I'm thinking maybe the blue is too much. Oh, thank you, Betty. That's awesome. I should keep this tonight. I should definitely keep track of all these comments and copy them and use them as little testimonials. There you go. All right, so I'm going to put this on a piece of white. Let me just move these out of the way. And look over here for where I just put my piece of white cardstock. Oh, Cherie's not with us tonight. She's usually the one telling me that she's going to be drunk by the end of the night because she takes a drink every time I lose something. But I don't know. I don't think that that's quite right. Although I do lose a lot of things. We know this. Right. I'm just looking. Everyone's talking about you, Ellen. That's awesome. Oh, there you go. All right, so I'm thinking I'm gonna see what smoky slate looks like because it's a nice soft grey, and I think that might complement this quite well. But mine is pretty new, so can you see how it's getting? Okay, let me show you. This is another example of an over inky pad, right, and what it does. Right, it looks like hay, but can you see how it's kind of dotty around here? And I don't necessarily want that. Okay, so that's when I grab my spoon. So Ellen does do beautiful videos, and definitely go check them out. And actually, we've got Denise here tonight, and she also does beautiful. We're really lucky. We've got some lovely, lovely girls that I work really closely with, and they're all very, very talented. They do a lot of beautiful things. All right. So now that I've given that a good massage, I'm going to stamp it again, and you're going to see the difference between the two after massage and before. Oh, hang on. I didn't ink it up very well. I'll do it above. Also, just a little bit of basic stamping for anyone who doesn't know this. When you stamp, go straight down and then straight up. Okay. Can you see the difference between this one and this one? This one is clearer. Can you see that? It's not a lot clearer, but it is clearer. And if I was to take more time and massage my ink pad for longer, it would get clearer still. Right. Now, I have got some spare from earlier. I've got my little leftovers box here. Actually, Ellen was the one who inspired me to really choose it and, you know, use it as a box, because she has a little thing she calls her, what's it called? Use it up box, I think it's called. And I think that's really clever. But I've got some nice little labels and things in here from previous cards that are left over, and I like to look through and see, okay, which label's going to work well. See, there's a nice one there. That one might work well. All right, so I'm thinking that the sewing machine is going to look good in grey, and this is going to be too wide to fit through my machine because the machine only goes up to about 9 centimeters. So I cut my paper to 9 centimeters or less, and then it will go through just fine. Okay, so just bear that in mind if ever you're wanting to put something through your cut and emboss machine. And does everyone know too that all the dies in the catalog actually tell you if they are going to fit through the machine or not? Every single die that we have in here tells you next to the die whether or not it fits through the mini. This one fits through the mini. See that right there? Okay, this one does, this one does, this one does. Most of them do. All the ones on this page do. Okay, they all fit. If ever you get a big one, for example, so like I love these, but there's no mini symbol because those are full card size pieces that you would have to use your large embossing machine for, so cut and emboss machine. So just it's worth knowing that. All right, let's grab our dies again. And I'm going to use the sewing machine die because it's super cute. And I've got to get it off the backing because I've never used it before. Here we go. Look how cute this is. So do we love this set? What's the verdict? Do people think it's a cool set, or is it too fiddly, or what do you think? I'd love to know. Be honest. Tell me what you think. But I really have fallen in love with it, partly because of the theme, because I think it's like it's made for us crafters, but also I think it's really fun putting all the pieces together and treating it kind of like a puzzle. All right, so there it is. How's a little sewing machine? How cute. Love, love, love. All right, let's put this back here. Oh, sorry about all the noise. I've got stuff everywhere like I always do. I don't know how people craft tidy. It's lost on me. I just don't know how. All right, so this piece here, and you can see if you get it up close, one side has the emboss. Oh, it's hard to see in the black. Let me show you in one of the other colors that I cut. This one might be easier to see. You can see there's an embossed, if it focuses, come on, there you go. See the embossing around the edge of the embroidery hoop? Really cool. Okay, so it actually has that raised edge. You can't see it in the black, but you can see it in the lighter colors. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this here. Well, actually, I'm going to start with the hoop. And I'm going to have the hoop go over this edge. And I'm going to have my sewing machine up here, up towards the top. And then I'm going to have my greeting, I think, is going to go about here somewhere, maybe about there. That's what I'm kind of thinking, like that. So this is the probably the trickiest part, is getting this on. Once again, if I was smart, I would have done this on in what do you call it? What do you call those things, guys, that I've just gone completely blank? Adhesive sheets. That's what you call them. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of this Tombow, not very much, just sort of dotting it. And I go most of the way around, but not quite. And I'm just going to pop that right there. Just like that. Now this one, you could put it right into it, or you could put it up on dimensionals and have it above. I actually think it might look better right into it. So I'm going to do that. Put that right there inside the circle. Let it make a bit of a bond. Hold it in place for a few seconds. Now this guy I'm going to put on dimensionals. Well, here's a pack. I had a whole sheet a moment ago. You know what? Yesterday when I, actually, was it yesterday? What's today? Friday. No, 2 days ago, I had a class here, had a launch, and I had dimensionals all over the table. And that's where I think they still are. Here we go. This one's also nearly empty. Good thing I just bought a few more packets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then let's take those off. I'm going to put it down very lightly in case I change my mind on the placement. And do I like, that's the other thing, is do I like it crooked, or do I want to put it straight? What do you think? Do we like it crooked, or do we want it straight? I'm not pushing it down hard, so we can still move it. Now I'm going to put my greeting onto this little guy here. And the greeting I think I'll have is "You inspire me," because I really think that works well with this kind of with these pieces. Elements, that's the word I was looking for. Just gonna pop that on B block. And I'm thinking I might go up to a darker blue, and I'm going to go up to Misty Moonlight. Misty Moonlight looks really good with boho blue. It's like, and it's a little lighter than navy, so, but you could use navy as well if you don't have Misty Moonlight. Some of you might have Misty Moonlight from years ago because it was around and then it went away and now it's back. Woohoo! All right. So what do people think? People are saying, oh, thanks, Ellen. Top right, crooked, straight. The sewer wants it straight. Yes, Cindy, I get that. No sewing machine, says Ellen. Ellen doesn't want the sewing machine. Do we like it without the sewing machine? Let me take it off. Do we want that? Do we need anything else up here if that's the case, or do we just leave it like that? I'm going to put this on dimensionals and then we'll see where that leaves us. I better close this up before somebody has a meltdown. Actually, I haven't seen Jodie tonight. Is she here? 1, 2, 1 and 2. The sewing machine's too much. Ellen and Monique think the sewing machine is too much. All right. We can go without the sewing machine after all that, and I'm sure I'll find another use for the sewing machine. I'll just put it over here for now, and then I'll use it later. And you might be right. Maybe that is enough, just like that. But I do think we need some bling, don't you think? So what bling will we use? We have the gorgeous boho blue bling, which we could use. Is that going to be too much blue? Or we could pick this yellow, which is the wild wheat. Actually looks like gold. It's quite nice. But I've got other options. I don't know. What does everybody think? Bling, yes. Ellen, you thinking so? Move the send up higher. No machine. I think I don't want them too far apart. I want them kind of connected, if you know what I mean. And I do like it. Maybe it needs a tiny bit of ribbon. Maybe I could use some silver twine. That would work. What other bling options could we have? I've got iridescent rhinestones. They go with everything, right? And we have the what do we call those? I can't remember what they were called. Those are the ones that went with the Buy the Base set, but they're still around. They're really nice. Those would be interesting. But I'm just looking through my bling and seeing what would look good. Pearls, iridescent pearls. We have matte dots. Or we could always do the good old what do they call these things? I forget. Iridescent pastel gems. So they've got the balmy blue, which would work actually with this, and the gold. Those would both look nice. And I've also got the brush metallic dots. Actually, the bronze ones have a little bit of a greeny tint to them, which would pick up the color from the mossy meadow. We could use those. We could do spools in blue and green. Never too much blue. Yeah. Well, maybe that's the way I go, because Ellen, I actually have plenty of boho blue ones now, don't I? So let me see if I'm going to put. Let's move this, and I'm thinking maybe a little one just like this. And the question is now, do we need, we could use linen thread, or I could get some silver thread. So silver thread might work. Oh, and I've also got, we still have some of the glittered organdy white ribbon. That would also look okay. Oh, I'm down to my last little bit of silver thread, but that would look good. Yep, silver thread I think might be the answer, Glenda. I think you're right. All right, let's put this over here. Hang on. Try again. I'm too close to the end. Okay. All right. So I'm thinking this would look good sort of to one side of, or just underneath the greeting. And I'm making it a little bit smaller. I don't want it to be too big. Let's cut it with my ribbon scissors. And we'll use a glue dot for that. Okay. Where did my glue dots go? Here they are. So how do we do tonight? What is the verdict on the Crafting with You stamp set and dies? This bundle, what do we think of it? Do we like it? And I think I'm going to call that done. Oh, I'm glad you like it. So we did 2 cards. This one needs some surgery. This one needs a bit of fixing, and I think that it's either going to be hearts or spools at this stage, one or the other. And then I'll pop it as well on a white. Actually, I've got, yeah, another. I'll give this a white card base as well. But they're the 2 that we did tonight. How do we go? Were you happy with the cards we made? And is there anything that anyone wants to ask me about this set or about anything else? Over the next few weeks, what I'm hoping to do is to pick bundles and then do a couple of totally different cards with the bundles, so you get to see different ways of using different sets. And that hopefully will help you make a more educated decision over whether or not it's something that you would like to buy yourself. So that way I can help you do that by showing you just a couple of different things that you can do with one set. You've made 2 as well, and a messy table. Well, that's a good sign, Cheryl. I'd say messy. They say if that messy is a sign of a creative mind, and my theory is that I must be really, really, really creative. So that's good. Okay, guys, have a fantastic weekend. I hope that you have lots of time to do whatever it is you want to do this weekend. And I will be back on Sunday night, same time, so 7:30 again. And hopefully I'll get to see you all. And for you first timers who are here for the first time with us tonight, welcome. We hope that you'll be back. And we love sharing our creative ideas with you. Okay. Have a fantastic weekend, guys. Bye-bye.